Yo, what up guys? It's Flark, and welcome to 10.1.5. I wanted to give you a little windwalker build that I think is pretty obvious to come out of the 10.1.5 changes, and most importantly, the most recent hotfix that happened 2 days ago, as of me releasing this video. Not really sure when I'm releasing it, but pretty recently. Where they buffed Whirling Dragon Punch, and they nerfed Serenity, and they buff Rising Sun Kick, right? It gives Windwalker Monk a really, really powerful frequent go toolkit and damage profile if you wanted to run that. So I wanted to show you the Storm, Earth, and Fire variant that I've been running as of exactly right now because of the buffs, and see if it works out for you. As you can see, I have a little meter here with completely obscene damage in the last... Threes game I played, and it is 8 million to non-pets. So, yeah, pretty good. This does not mean that Serenity is just dead, and if it was, don't let me tell you that, because I don't even play Windwalker. I just wanted to give you guys a really, really fun build that even somebody who does not play Windwalker can play to great success. So it's got to be pretty dang good. And the sustain is through the roof, so I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to try it out for yourself. Cool. Okay. So, as always with my videos, I need to start you off with gearing, and it's going to be the most simple stats and gearing section that I think I've ever done, because Windwalker is unique in that it only cares about 2 of the 4 stats. Most specs do 3, like haste and mastery, some combination of both, and then crit. Only like 1 or 2 specs can even get a little bit of crit because it's like so integral to their spec design, but it's really nerfed in PvP. Okay, well, Windwalker Monk is not like that at all. Haste is useless. It does not reduce the global cooldown, and it doesn't do much for your rotation at all. And crit is really bad, even though it'd be decent for Windwalker because of that spike damage, but crit's really bad because of the PvP nerf, which means you just go Verse Mastery on every single piece that you can. You can get even more Verse and Mastery than I have, but I have a lot, as you see, if I go into PvP. That's 5,400 Mastery, nearly 6,000 Verse. Yeah, so I effectively went Verse Mastery on every single piece that I could, but you can do even more. This is just my ult, so I haven't done absolutely everything yet. Some tips and tricks, of course, to do that are crafting a ring, so you can complement the mastery main stat ring with a crafted ring with Verse and Mastery on it. You can craft a necklace. The reason you would craft a necklace, even though there's a Verse Mastery necklace, is because you can drop a little bit of the Verse and put it into Mastery, because if you put main stat Verse on every piece, you'd be way over the DR. So you don't really need to do that when Mastery is just as good as a stat, because even though it sacrifices some survivability, which you have a lot more of nowadays after all the buffs, it adds a lot more damage, and damage is a good thing. So anyway, yeah, some tips and tricks. You can craft a neck, craft a ring, Verse Mastery every single piece. And then for embellishments, you can already see I had the zone of focus. Your survivability is a lot higher now, and you can karma incoming cooldowns, like you say combust. Like maybe it's getting combust and you trinket karma. You can karma high, keeping yourself high. Now you redirect all the karma damage to them, and you have max mastery the entire time from zone of focus, and you just do, oh my god. I wish you saw my stream. I had like a 200k Rising Sun Kick, and then you also have the Storm, Earth, and Fire Rising Sun Kicks, which hit for over that when you combine all 3 of the hits. It's ridiculous. So yeah, and the other embellishment is the one where you press leg sweep and you get stats, because of course every time you do a leg sweep go, you want stats, and everybody uses that in PvP. It's the embellishment that when you CC people, you get primary stats. Easy. Yes, you do run the 4 set, and you run it on helm, shoulders, chest, and gloves. That gives you the best stats that you can possibly get while still getting the 4 set. The 4 set's not enormously good, but the Fist of Fury damage is really nice. The Rising Sun Kick damage is nerfed in PvP. Of course, it's only 5%, not 10%, but extra 5% damage is not terrible. And the Shadow Flame hits, they add, right? They add damage to your already pretty impactful rotation, and especially with the Storm, Earth, and Fire build that I'm going to give you, that matters. The only bit of crit really that I put into the build is Badge, because now you can effectively macro it to Storm Earth, and every other Storm Earth, or every other Storm Earth, you will have the badge 1109, scaling up to even higher than that in PvP. Massive increase of primary stats. And crit is bad, but haste is even worse, so now you'll have some big crit Rising Sun Kicks that you can hang your hat on. I think that's all of it. Verse Mastery, get the 4 set, dual wield weapons, double Sophic Devotion, get as much primary stat as you possibly can. Badge, primary stat, of course. And your output is going to be obscene, but that's not really what matters. This is what matters. So this is probably just going to be a small twist on a very popular build, emphasizing the proc spinning crane kick for a little bit more frequent goes, Storm Earth for obviously more frequent goes, the recently buffed, insanely buffed Whirling Dragon Punch, just pretty much sustained damage. So how you build it, of course, is you grab all the modifiers that you have. You got Fist modifiers, you got Fist modifier, you got Rising Sun Kick modifiers, and here you got the double Rising Sun Kick modifier. You get hit combo for just modifiers to every ability, Rising Sun Kick, of course. Then you go all the way down to Phalanx. Oh, you get Thunder Fist, of course. This thing has been nerfed, but it's still just a one-button press for a huge amount of damage, including AoE damage and a nice AoE snare. Still no reason to drop this. Feline Stomp just gives you another modifier, but as long as only if you go into Feline Harmony, so of course you do. This is 12% damage, and it's effectively up nearly all the time, because not only can you put it down on them and then sweep them in it, or maybe they just stay in it because they're hitting you because they're melee, but also then you can reset it, proc it somewhere else, and then you have it there for a little while, and then you can reset it again and press it again. So yeah, just a huge mod to have pretty much all the time, certainly every time it matters, because you can press Storm Earth and Feline at the same time. But then yeah, of course, you just go down to Storm Earth and Fire. So this is instead of Serenity. And now you can press Storm Earth, get a huge damage buff, and then you can press it again to lock them in on one guy if you want it to be all single target, which you absolutely should do. You can extend that with Drinking Horn cover to make the Storm Earth last as long as possible. You grab the Zuen mods, not all of them, but certainly Empowered Tiger Lightning and Invoke Zuen. Another Fist of Fury mod, another Fist of Fury / Rising Sun Kick mod. Here's all of the haste you could ever need from Invoker's Delight. This is one of the reasons haste is so bad for Windwalkers, because between this and Alpha Tiger, you literally have 53% haste, which it's not already, it's really not that great of a stat. But if it was that great of a stat, you'd have 53% during your burst window. So it's not like you need actual more of that haste, and that's why you'll see, I think this is true, every single monk goes to 0 or as close to 0 haste as you could possibly get if they're playing Windwalker. And then Skyreach, this gives you the charge on Tiger Palm. This is why Windwalker mobility is so high, even while they're just doing their rotation. And the crit chance, that's certainly not bad, because even though crit's not super good in PvP, Rising Sun Kick and Fist of Fury procs critting just adds another 50% damage, so why not? And then Whirling Dragon Puff, the recently puffed. Very, very good. So the only thing that maybe is a little confusing is that I grabbed the Spinning Crane Kick procs, which are nerfed in PvP, and they haven't been run very much, but when you're not using Serenity, the fact that it's free is actually valuable again. Remember, when you're running Serenity, everything is free. So you don't really need a free Spinning Crane Kick. It doesn't do that much damage. But when you're not running Serenity, an extra damage that doesn't spend Chi, so you can use that on Fists of Fury and Rising Sun Kick, is actually really impactful and still does a ton of cleave. And the reason Storm Earth is better with Chi also than Serenity is because your Storm Earth and Fire guys hit other things to give it Mark of the Crane, so you immediately stack this up to like 5 and 6, or 5 stacks now. It's 5 stacks, right? Used to be 6, I think. And then you can get a huge Spinning Crane Kick with the buff, so... yeah, just the old classic kind of setup where you have frequent goes, double charges of Storm Earth, Whirling Dragon Punch pretty much every go, Fist of Fury pretty much every go. You just constantly have damage, right? You have small goes from Whirling, Strike of the Windlord, double Storm Earth, and you have a bigger go from Celestial, and you're golden. And every single one of those small goes, if they're alternating, can have your badge equipped to it, and it's just non-stop pressure, literally non-stop. The cleave is absolutely ridiculous. You can see a base go. I don't even know if I need to talk about rotation. Effectively, you just need to Rising Sun Kick and Fist of Fury, nearly off cooldown, and face melee. Remember, face that Fist of Fury to the melee because of Turbo Fist, which allows you to parry all of their incoming attacks. And then when they're both down, that's the only time you can press Whirling Dragon Punch. So then you would press it. Strike of the Windlord is just a burst ability, and you use it every single time you can, and you keep Feline Stomp up. And then you Storm Earth whenever you have all of those things available, which is pretty much every time it comes up. So you would like Zuen, Storm Earth, bring them over here. Look at that, I already got a proc for the Spinning Crane Kick. Get the Feline down and watch the proc. Hey, it's a lot. Am I doing 400k damage? Then you generate Fury with Tiger Palm. You Fist of Fury, then watch this. This does not do as much damage in PvE because it's the PvP mod. But that Whirling Dragon Punch would do obscene damage. That's about 400k DPS in PvE. I bet Windwalker is good in PvE Mythic Plus situations, but maybe you can tell me if I'm wrong. then you can see how that Fey line resets all the time. So you can just keep it up. And then every time you get a spinning crane kick, you use it. Every time you have Fist of Fury, you use it. The slow Fist of Fury from having no haste is actually good because it parries more attacks from melee, and there's plenty of melees in Solo Shuffle if you've played them. You can kind of see it's just like a really standard rotation that does unlimited damage. Fist of Fury is a huge part of all your damage, so every time it is up, you want to try and get that out. And since you don't have Serenity making it free, you got to make sure that you're managing your chi correctly, so you want to try and keep that high with frequent Tiger Palms in between every single damage. So, right, you Rising Sun Kick, Tiger Palm, Fist of Fury, Tiger Palm, right? You want to alternate those Tiger Palms in there to keep your chi generated, but also to keep your Mastery always active, which is when it's not a repeat of the previous ability, which is very easy to do because you can't really repeat abilities very much. Anyway, if they have a cooldown, right? You can't Rising Sun Kick or Fist of Fury twice in a row. Okay. And that's why Spinning Crane Kick is so good because, again, chi management, a little more difficult. So you get that free proc and you just... Oh god, just does so much damage. What I pressed it once, right? And it was over probably 500k with the Storm Earth AoE. Pretty nice. And it's free, so why not press it? And that's the setup. Your PvP talent's already glossed over. Alpha Tiger gives you enormous amount of haste and startup. Turbo Fists is a 90% slow end channel when it's channeling you parry, which is, again, fantastic against melee. Reverse harm healing is actually pretty good right now, and your survivability is a lot better. I've seen some other things. Disarm is an absolute necessity against certain melee that you want to disarm the cooldown stuff, like Pillar of Frost, you can disarm that. Warbreaker, you can disarm that. Avatar, you can disarm Fury Warrior right before he rampages. That'll take out all of his damage. I've actually seen Mighty Ox kick on Blade's Edge, but I'm pretty sure the guy was memeing me, but I could never get back onto the the bridge because he kept punting me off. That's pretty funny. And that's my Windwalker setup. Again, I just wanted to give you guys something that is clearly more powerful as of the new patch. If you were sick of the one-shot run, this never really runs out of damage. It is always kind of having a go, and it's really fun to play as a result. So if you wanted to give that a try, feel free. And thanks for watching. Told you I'd make it shorter. Okay, peace.